Everyone, my name is Taylin. I've decided to do my presentation on David Elkind's theory of adolescent egocentrism. This is something that I have always been interested in because in the future, with my degree, I do want to be a therapist for teens. So I've always found it interesting to learn about the way teenagers think and how that influences the way that they act and all of the above. So let's get right into it. So the main idea of this theory is just so David Elkind is expanding on Jean Piaget's theory of thinking. So he does believe that they begin this stage of thinking in early childhood. Essentially, this person has little concern for others and they are very self centered. According to Elkind, teenagers experience egocentrism more often due to puberty and all the changes their body is going through. They become so emotionally and mentally absorbed in those changes. So they're just constantly worrying about how their body is changing and different, and they're just trying to cope with those changes, but at the same time, they are still going throughout life. But they are just more caring about what's going on with them in their mind, in their body, than what everyone else's struggles are. They're just focused mainly on themselves. Um, Elkind explains two different side effects of adolescent egocentrism. The very first one Elkind talks about in his research is imaginary audience. This is the idea that teenagers feel that they are constantly being watched because egocentrism makes them think that they are as important to everyone else as they are to themselves. So they just think that everyone is watching them, everyone is there to critique them, and just judge them. So imaginary audience makes them just constantly worried that they might do something that might be embarrassing for them. So this highly influences the way that they dress, the way they do their hair, even the way they speak and act, just so that they don't embarrass themselves and don't find themselves being judged by others in any way. The second, side effect is what we're calling it, is personal fable. So this is when a teenager feels the story of his or her life is unique and special. This is where the very common argument of teens to their parents and things like that it comes from. It's like, no one understands me. So they just think that all the experiences in their life, all the changes that they're going through, all of their friend issues, everything that they are experiencing as a teenager are unique to them, that nobody else has ever felt this way. Nobody else has ever felt this embarrassed. And when a parent is trying to comfort their teenager and says, like, I know exactly what they're going through, this often can aggravate them because there's no way in the world that they have ever felt this way. Elkind also believes that that personal fable directly correlates with teenagers being more reckless and thinking they are invincible. They often do things that cause them to have consequences. They just believe that they will never die, and Elkind uses this to explain that that's why many adolescents and teenagers do dangerous things for no reason. And I learned in my health class recently that the leading cause of death in teenagers is actually accidental deaths. They like car accidents, alcohol poisoning, just things that teenagers really can't control, that are accidental when they are just not listening to the rules, just being kind of reckless. One of my very favorite books, I think, is a great example of adolescent egocentrism, imaginary audience and personal fable. It's called Looking for Alaska by John Green. It's a great book. about teenagers, I guess. So the quote is, where'd it go? Quote is, "We need never be hopeless because we can never be irreparably broken. We think we are invincible because we are." And I just think this is a great quote because it's exactly how teenagers think. They just think they can never be irreparably broken, which is not the case. Some of these accidents, because of personal fable and recklessness, become fatal. And yeah, so that is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for listening, and bye.